Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Eagle Eye podcast. Yes, we're not as enthusiastic or as cheery as in previous episodes, of course, because we're going to be talking about that terrible, terrible defeat for Club America against Leon at home. We're also going to be breaking down a little bit of the Lady Aguilas results as they drew against, God, who did they? Veracruz, correct, gentlemen?
Veracruz. Yeah, yeah.
Against Veracruz. Well, now that they've spoken, let me introduce them as always. My co-host, Mr. Christian Rosendo, and everyone's favorite, Mr. Cowboy Dan. Gentlemen, how's the weather?
Cold, snowy.
Fluctuating.
Fluctuating. I like that word. I
Dude,
like
like
that
it-
word.
like like it was just freezing Saturday and like turn around to Thursday it's gonna be like 80 degrees here. Like what sense does that make?
I think Cowboy Dan has given us the word of the week for the podcast and for America, fluctuating. Because I think it breaks down exactly what this America side has been for the past couple of weeks. Would you guys agree to that? I mean, we went from a defeat against Monterrey, then to a win against Pachuca, and then to to a loss now against Leon.
Yes, I mean just like what is this? What is the deal? It's like the whole burnt the barbecue for me. I expected the ribs to fall off the bone and they didn't fall off the bone.
It was Querétaro, not Pachuca.
You're right. There you go. Querétaro. Querétaro. I was like, wait, I'm pretty sure I'm getting that one wrong, but thank
Yeah,
you for
sorry.
correcting me.
Sorry. That's why.
But yes, that's exactly why you're here. But we're gonna break that down. We're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna break down Nico Castillo's debut, whether or not we thought he did more than enough to convince us, and we're just gonna break down this game, and then of course we're gonna get you guys hyped up as much as we can because we of course have the Clasico Capitalino coming up this Sunday in Seoul. So we got so much to talk about, and we're also gonna be recapping a little bit of what happened at our first ever viewing party that happened in Fullerton, California. Thanks to those of you who made it. We'll talk a little bit more about it, and I'll give you guys a little bit more of the details of what happened. But with that said, gentlemen, are we ready to get started?
Sí, señor.
I mean, I feel like we should have a gancito in honor of our sadness.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
I
What
mean,
about a torta de tamal?
oh my god, dude, that sounds so bomb right now because it is freezing cold. Aguajolota is exactly what we need at this moment.
Oh, dude, I can't
Uh,
wait.
Dylan is just shaking his head because he has no idea what's going on.
Yo, Dylan, I need to get a torta de tamal in your mouth soon, and that
Oh man, you would cut off right there.
sounded so wrong. Oh,
Yeah, no. Don't worry, I think I got it. Now we're good.
Alrighty, gentlemen. Well, let's not delay this any further. Of course, no Copa MX, but our team has officially qualified already to the next round. So we're just gonna have to wait and see who our next opponent is. But we will let you guys know as soon as we figure something out as well. But all right, let's talk about America versus Leon. So we went into this game very hyped up, very enthusiastic, very hopeful that this game was going to be exciting, that it was going to be thrilling, and that we were going to be able to see an America side walk away with 3 points. Unfortunately, we were wrong on all aspects. And actually, if we go back and we see at exactly the predictions we made, none of us were close. The only person that actually got close, and it's not even a person, it was a machine. It was EA Sports FIFA, who we remember last week predicted America would lose 3-1 at home and almost got it right. It was a 3-0 result. I
that's kind of
mean,
scary.
yeah, that was kind of scary. I mean, the game is playing on the background right now, so we'll see what our Pumas fate awaits. But as that goes on, we'll talk about this and we'll break it down because a lot of things went wrong. I think for this America side and watching this alongside other fellow Americanistas that were in the area that came on down, it definitely was it was a little heartbreaking. Because I mean we had so much hype going into this viewing party that afterwards it wasn't really kind of the mood you wanted to end with. But everyone was tremendous. Everyone still had a smile on their faces, and really the event was a success for us. we spoke a little bit. I spoke to Dylan, I spoke to you, and we think that it was, it was pretty good for our first time. So again, thank you to those of you who made it out. I know Jose Sepulveda once was there, Carlos Diaz, Carlos Serna. If I'm forgetting some of you guys' names, I'm sorry. It's just I'm putting the moment, but thank you to everyone who made it. I mean, Amy from the Footmex Nation made it out. Ivan Fernandez made it out. So all these great, wonderful people made it out. Part of who are kind of big names from the community as well. So it was definitely it was great to see, and hopefully for the next time we do this, many more people can come. So we'll definitely plan that out ahead with a little bit more time, so that way you guys can actually kind of plan ahead, and because I know we're gonna only give you guys a week to get this going, but we will definitely want to do this again, hopefully next month, and we can get that situated, get everyone a little bit more coordinated, see exactly where we can do it. If it's again over there at Larry's Pizza, they were phenomenal hosts and everything. So we'll have to wait and see. But I know a lot of people were definitely happy and excited. So we're definitely going to try to do that again. But I went on the biggest tangent there. But the point is that everyone just was a bit disappointed. I mean, 90 minutes went by and you saw really a team that you couldn't even recognize. I mean, could you guys say that this was the America we've been watching, week in and week out?
Oh
I mean,
man,
Dylan, you're shaking
you
your head no, but give me an answer.
you just can't. I mean, it's not. I mean, you expected the ribs to come out good and everything, but it just didn't. And I don't know why, but like I said, I was expecting fall off the bone ribs, but I didn't get fall off the bone ribs.
I think
Definitely.
I think we just all can agree this was probably the worst America we've seen in a very long time. It was
Hmm.
very surprising to see all aspects of the team just play terrible. And like you said, it was almost like we just didn't recognize this team.
And it was actually all aspects of the team. And there is not one player on that pitch that you could say, well, he had a good game or he was at least decent. From the goalkeeper all the way to the top, everyone was disappointing, and that's a shocker.
That's it. A shocker.
And I was talking to our good friend, Miss Cari Torres, beloved Leon fan. And I told her, what frustrates me the most is that it always happens against Leon.
Yeah,
It always happens against Leon. It's like they're our kryptonite for some reason.
I was thinking that too after the match.
Terrible, and it's no pun intended because they're green or anything like that. But I mean, it was just terrible, 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 terrible. And I know a lot of people will say, well, what about Guido? I thought Guido was below expectations. Below his game level. I felt that at times he just wasn't in the positions that I expected him to be. And it wasn't even because he was just running around everywhere trying to plug holes. I think he just was frustrated at times and couldn't focus. We saw an Edson Alvarez who had the opportunity to get the first goal in the first opening minutes. And when he misses that chance, he just is not the same Edson after that. I don't know if that play kept in his mind or what it was, but he just wasn't the same after that. A guy that I highly rate so much, Renato Ibarra.
This is probably one of his worst games I've ever seen him play.
Yeah,
could not. Bad.
And I wanted to defend him. I tried, and as much as I can use this to credit that maybe it wasn't his fault, but I think it was more credit to Leon. They did an exceptional job in defending. But with saying that, we're at home. We should be able to break this down. And the fact that we haven't, the fact that we didn't, that's what causing me so much concern.
Right.
The fact that Renato Ibarra couldn't get past one or two markers and couldn't make a play, that was what's worrying me. And then, of course, I mean, Clemente looked like he had something going, right? It looked like he started off like, yes, this is the Clemente we've wanted. And then
5 minutes go by.
Yeah. And that's the most terrible part about it, is because this kid shows a little bit of the potential that he has, just can't consistently bring it out. I mean, why even mention Roger at this point? It's another terrible game from him.
Yeah.
Henry Martin, again, I had no idea he was even playing at some point. I mean, the back line was just way off everywhere. Paolo Aguilar
Yeah, but like that was terrible.
was terrible. At one point, he was playing too deep. At one point, he was playing too high. No consistency there. Sanchez, I wish would have started. Reyes, again, another terrible performance from him. Aguilera, I mean, what could we say about him that we haven't said before in these type of games? And then Bruno, I mean, Bruno was trying to be Bruno, but even him, he got lost, and there was real no communication in that center back partnership. I felt like there was these type of games where everything was just mayhem and chaos, and all it took was for one Leon goal to go in for us to just fall apart, and it is exactly what happened. I mean, let's talk about this in full. I mean, 90 minutes go by, result goes 3-0, final whistle blows. What's your what's your final thought? What's your first thoughts? You know, game ends, you see this poor performance. What's the first thing that pops into your head?
I need a beer. Wow. That's literally what I was gonna do. I went back, stuck my beer in my room, and just drank the rest of the night, and just thought about this game. I was like, damn. I was like, I can't believe that just happened.
Seriously, Christian.
No, I think you summed it up perfectly. It was, I don't know. At first, I have to admit, first 10 minutes go by, I actually think we were playing kind of decent. You know, we were creating, we had balls in the box. It's just Roger didn't want to shoot for some reason. I don't know why. But after those 10 minutes, then you see Leon just, I don't know. I don't know so much of Leon taking over or America just being so disorganized. This game was so messy that there was like a feeling that there was no tactics involved. Everyone was out of position. Nobody was kind of like trying in a sense. Like it was a weird vibe I got from this team going forward and throughout the match. And I don't know. At some point, I think it was after the first Leon goal. I think at that point I was like, yeah, I don't think we're coming back from this one. And usually we're pretty good at tying the game up or making the comeback, but for some reason, this team just seemed way off. And I guess someone said in the chat, I guess it's good to lose, but it keeps the players, grounded. It shows them that, we still have a lot to work on if you want to be the bicampeones this semester. I just didn't think we would lose in that fashion, though. I mean, a 3-0 at home too against the Leon side. I mean, credit where credit's due. Leon played outstanding. They made the chances, the ones that they had to make, they did. But I still think we should have beat them. I think our team just stacks up so much better against them, and I guess it was just an off day from everybody. And it's rare, but it happens, and I guess we just need to move on and look forward to the next match.
Two things I want to talk about just from that little breakdown that you said. One, Roger. This is a consistent topic that we've talked about, but this is something that needs to be addressed. And the fact that he is taking an extra touch in the box is frustrating, not just me, not just you, but the whole community.
The whole community.
This is not the first time he does it. He's been doing this for the whole season and a little bit before that too. He does not take the shot first time. He wants to take a touch. For what reason? I have no idea. I don't know if he went to train with Louis van Gaal, and you know how Louis van Gaal said to the Manchester United players, you need to take an extra touch in the box before you shoot, which is, I think, stupid. If you're a forward, you always have to take your shot first time. And it's just been frustrating because how many times we've been giving Roger credit because he's been scoring goals. And yes, he's been scoring some goals where he's taking them first time, and you'd think he'd learn from that. But he's had so many open opportunities where he could just shoot the ball. Heck, win us a corner, at least something.
Yeah, it's very frustrating to see, and you don't want to see that from Roger Martinez, especially when Nico Castillo coming into the team, and there's a place up for grabs, and you see this, and you're like, well, does it really deserve to be there over Oribe Peralta when he comes back?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see when that happens. And the second thing I want to address is the fact that the whole it's good to lose kind of situation. Like it is good to lose to keep you grounded at times. But here's my question: how is it that the players are going to respond to it? That is a whole different situation, and that we're going to get that answer come Sunday, of course. Right. Now the question is it going to be the right response? Or is it going to be the response that we dread? And let's hope that it's not the latter. Let's hope that it's exactly what we want to see from them. a lot of players came out and a lot of players said the right things to the camera, to the media, whether or not that they're going to fix it, whether or not they'll be able to do it against a relatively, weak Puma side. Let's face it, they haven't been doing the best. But again, when it comes to America, everyone seems to step it up. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. It's an away game. It's at Seoul. Seoul's, as much as people want to credit it as it being our second home in a sense. Yeah, we've had good fortune there, but because we've played good games there, and it's a matter of can you go and play a good game as well in this situation. We'll have to wait and see. We'll definitely have to wait and see. Dylan, what's your take on all of this? And give me more of an insight on exactly how it is that you felt that the team started in respects to how the team ended this game.
Well, I can't really tell you how it started because I was working and I missed a majority of the first half. But just coming in and watching what I could in that first half, I just already felt it. I was like, what is this team doing? I was like, there's nothing really seem to be creativity. Everything seems lost. Nobody seems to know what to do. No, there's no chemistry between this team. And then you get going towards the end of the game, especially whenever that second goal comes in. You see the frustration set in. You see it starting to affect the players, and you're starting to wonder like what's going on. This isn't the side we know. And then third comes goal, and then it's just all hell from there. Hell breaks loose, and it's just how it is, and how it will be, especially it being people are gonna ask the questions. People are gonna obviously come out and say like bash the team a little bit, but at the end of the day, before, we were wondering where this team plays. We're wondering is too, which he did not get it all, giving up those 3 goals. And so that's how you got to sit here. There wasn't 11 players on the pitch.
Yeah, it definitely did not feel like that. I mean, there's just so much running through my mind in regards to how to talk about this and break this down. But
we could talk about the substitutions. I think I saw a lot of people criticizing the halftime substitution of Andres Ibargüen coming in. In my opinion, I thought that was a great sub, and I kind of called it myself. I think I think this is a game for Ibargüen to come in over instead of Clemente. Get him out of there. He's not really producing what we need him to produce, and we know what Ibargüen can do. Yes, granted, this will be his first game back, but I kind of trusted him in the sense to create something. But I think someone said in the chat he was very very to himself. He really didn't play as a team, and I remember this one chance vividly where he dribbled one player. I think he had I want to say Roger Martinez open and said he tried to dribble the next defender, but then lost the ball, and that could have been a really great scoring chance to get us back in the game.
No, yeah, definitely. I do want to talk about substitutions because I think there was there's a lot to be said about the substitutions that were made and the times that they were made and all that stuff. But before we get into that, because that's more of a second half situation, I want to wrap this first half up, and I want to talk about the goal that we concede.
Okay.
Because I think
terrible marking.
I think that's not even terrible marking. That's terrible goalkeeping to begin with.
True.
Marchesín, in no situation did he have to overrun and parry the ball the way he did like that. And then, I mean, like you said, the marking was just off. The angle shouldn't even be there for the
that
player.
Was an impossible angle. Yeah.
And the fact that he's still connected and no one was able to get a body in between, that was what frustrated me. But to begin with, it's Marchesín's error. And a lot of people, I haven't seen at least a lot of people call him out for it, but I think he needs to man up and say, hey, this first one's on me. Because if you look at the way that he goes and attacks that ball, he overruns it. He overruns it and he sees it. And he really realizes that, hey, oh, shit, pardon my language. He overruns it. So in natural, he goes and covers and dives and parries the ball away. But by doing so already, you're not going to parry it away to a safe zone because you didn't. And then at that point as well, I mean, if you would have done it the right proper way, the way he's always been doing it, that was a much more simpler ball to catch or to try to parry away into the corner if he would have done it properly. But because he overruns it, they don't get that second chance, and Leon puts it away. And there
Yes.
goes 1-0 down. And the response from America wasn't the response like you said, Christian. We usually have a good response. It wasn't there.
Yeah, no, it was yeah, it was not there. It was not non-existent. But just to touch on a little bit on the Marchesín thing, I don't know if you guys have noticed. I mean, yes, all goalkeepers make mistakes, correct? I just feel like this season he's been making just a little tad more than last season, and I don't know if that has to do with overconfidence. Him knowing that he'll be the number one goalie no matter what, so he doesn't have to work as extra hard in practice, or being that he doesn't play Copa MX matches anymore. Could that have something to do with it? Maybe he feels like he needs to play all the games like last season, so it's kind of hindering on his thought process or whatever. So I don't know. It's kind of interesting to touch on Marchesín because we kind of always praise him as being the best goalkeeper in Liga MX, and these past couple of performances, it's kind of like you need to get back up there because there's other goalkeepers outperforming you, and you need to get back to the top level.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't think there should be a sense of overconfidence because I think he needs to know that he has a possibility to go make the national team with Argentina,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm pretty sure they're going to be looking at him with a fine tooth comb. So
Right.
I mean, he should be playing his A game
Mm-hmm.
every single second. Now, it's also to be said that Marchesín has had a couple of wrist issues this season,
Okay. Yes,
hence
you're
why
right.
he's missed some of the Copa Mexi's game. Now, of course, we're not making excuses for him because that's not what we're here to do, and that's not what he's there to do either. He's there to perform his job and everything. But I do think that it is fair to call him out on a couple of situations that has been going on this season. Let's not forget when he did join America, he wasn't the same Marchesín. It was a
Right.
Marchesín that was making
Mhm.
plenty of mistakes and everything. But it's the life of a goalkeeper, and I think Dylan, you can attest to this as well. It's not an easy job, but it's a job that needs to be taken seriously.
Yeah, definitely does. Just thinking back of it because I had to think about it. I remember seeing the goal, but I couldn't remember the part you're talking about. Much seen parried it. I think he just misjudges it too in the way, and but I understand where you're coming from too, and I understand that lifestyle of the goalkeeper. But at the end of the day, that's something that this team had to shake off, and really he had to too. A lot of times he's bailed out our center backs whenever people get through
Yeah.
on goal, and it's just 1-on-one. And but at the end of the day, too, we praise him for that stuff. But at the end of the day, we see this and we see that he's still human.
Yeah, and I'm not here to bash on the guy, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah,
No,
yeah. No,
not
no,
at
no,
all.
no, no, no. Yeah, yeah.
Because I understand that as well as anyone in the industry how tough that job is and how difficult it can be to be put in that situation. But again, you're in that position because you put yourself in it because you're talented enough. So when you make mistakes like that, you own up to them and you work on them, and
Mm-hmm.
that's it. And you move on from this, and the team will move on from it as well. You know. And then moving past this whole Marchesín thing, it's how does the team respond? And there's a
Um.
lack of response
Right.
in the sense there's no creativity going forward anymore. You seem stumped. You seem that you're outmatched. And it looked like for a second that Leon read that right away and said, you know what, we're gonna be smart. We're gonna hold. We're gonna hold and we're gonna let you guys make more mistakes and we're gonna capitalize on it. And boy, did they do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this was kind of the moments where you kind of missed a player like Mateo Uribe, a player that can bring the ball forward and try to create something. Yes, Edson Alvarez likes to push up, but let's face it, he has I don't think he has that level of creativity that a Mateo Uribe possesses, or Jeremy Menez. You were kind of missing a player like that this game, and it showed. Like you said, there was no creativity going forward. Everything was played through Ibarra, and either Ibarra had two players marking him, or he just tried to dribble through three, and we knew that was going to be impossible because the way Leon were playing that day, it was kind of a little bit frustrating to see. So, in moments like this, you kind of wonder, okay, in order to avoid this, I know I'm going a little bit off, but in order to avoid this, you kind of have to plug in a player like Mateo Uribe somewhere in here, but where do you do it? I don't know. We can talk about it more when the substitution, because I think the choice of going to a back three was a mistake in my opinion. But we'll get into that more later.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree. It's you definitely needed something going down the middle because I think Leon read you completely well and said we're gonna block your wings, and because of that, we're forcing you to go down the middle. A game that we're very strong at, but recently just haven't really been going so well. Because as much as we praise this Guido and Edson partnership, we finally realized that they have one thing that the Mateos Uribe and Guido partnership doesn't, and that's a little bit more versatility going forward. Edson does it well. I'm not gonna lie, he does it well. But like you said, he's not as creative in opening up the channels for players and for himself. He's
Right.
great at finding himself in great positions. He's a good passer. You know, he can pass you a good ball here and there, but he's not a juker. He's not a dribbler. He's not gonna get one, two, three defenders off of him. Yeah, and he's definitely not going to pull one, two, three defenders away as well. That's something
Right.
Matteo Zuriba does give you, and that's something that a Nico Benedetti probably will give you later on down the road as well. And I think trying to incorporate him, that was the idea. But by then, I mean, the whole team just didn't know what they were playing for anymore. So you're right. I think a player like Matteo Zuriba definitely was missing, and I think it was a game where you had two players that just kind of collided with each other, Edson and Guido, in this game, and then there was no real sense of a partnership for the first time in a long time in regards to this midfield.
Yeah.
And I think this goes great with what you've been saying, Dylan. It's the fact that whoever has the midfield battle and can win it will definitely end up being victorious. Now, I wouldn't say Leon were the better midfielder side, but I think their midfielders were much smarter than ours. I think they moved the ball a little bit more better, and it paid off dividend whenever they counterattacked us. I mean, you look at exactly how this America side and this Leon side played against each other. I don't remember Leon being that dangerous, and I don't remember Leon having so many opportunities. They had, 3-4 opportunities. They put those in the back of the net. That was it. America, though, they created a couple of chances that we've missed. Yes, of course, and that there was opportunities where our attackers could have maybe put the ball in the back of the net if they shot a little bit first time, but they didn't. So, I mean, from a perspective, from someone who, critiques the midfield a lot, how did you see Leon, play this game rather than how America should have?
Wait, you talking to me, Christian?
You, Dylan.
Oh, I mean, just like you said. I mean, just our midfield wasn't really there. I think if you point out somebody, I think Guido maybe was having the best game out of the midfield. But I mean, even on some of the times on the counterattacks, I mean, you see this midfield going, getting things started, especially with Montes, Mena, especially too, with having 2 goals and I think an assist too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all it is too. I mean, like you've answered that the question, like where's Renato? Edson was off. Guido there. Clemente doesn't really do much, and then all of a sudden you get Ibargüen coming back in for the second half after halftime. And so it's just really questionable. That midfield was off, and just nothing was clicking this whole night.
Yeah, it was terrible, and I mean, you'd expect a better reaction in the second half, but we couldn't even get that. And now we can move on into this whole second half talk and this whole substitution, because I think this is a very interesting one to talk about, because a lot of people have put on social media and everything how they thought some of the substitutions weren't correct, or in the sense that could have been better. So let's talk about this Ibargüen one real quickly. I know we already touched upon it a little bit, but let's further discussion. He comes in for Clemente, and I think we all should agree that that was the right move to make,
especially at halftime.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Ibargüen just wasn't 100% ready to be back on that pitch, and you could tell. You could tell he wasn't the same fast pacey winger. There was a bit of an off step to him. He had a hard time dribbling.
The rhythm wasn't
he wasn't match fit.
Especially not for 45 minutes at least.
Definitely. So that was the real bummer to play. And look, I'm sure that the teams or the staff said, hey, he might be 45-minute ready, but he's at least a good 30 minutes ready to go. And I'm pretty sure Piojo had this information, but you're 1-0 down, you're at home, you have all these fans, you have the possibility of Nico debuting, all this stuff. I'm pretty sure it got to him. So he said, you know what? Let's get back into this game and let's throw him in. Didn't work. We already knew that. Now, fast forward, 60th minute. On comes Nico Castillo.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong, right?
Wrong because I
Wait,
thought
wait.
Benedetti should have been
Oh
the
yeah.
next substitution.
Yeah.
Because we were lacking creativity, and
Yes, exactly. I
you
thought
thought
that Emmanuel Aguilera should have left the field. Edson Alvarez put back in the center back position to have Nico Benedetti take over that that uh that center mid with Guido. Only because if you guys look at the second and third goal, we were so vulnerable in the back with that back three, and it was bad. It was bad, and it showed that we can't really trust ourselves with the back three.
we didn't move to a back three.
Oh, in the third goal, I meant the third goal.
Until the third goal.
Third goal, right? The second goal. The second goal we saw the back four. You're right. My bad. I meant third goal.
But you're right. Benedetti probably should have been the right call to make because Nico Castillo was not 30 minutes ready. He had at least 15 minutes. Even Pio Guerrero came back and said he got
tired.
He got tired. He was out of breath.
Yeah.
In that 30 minutes that he ran. I'm not saying he did full on sprints. I'm not saying he ran up and down the pitch, but he felt like he was choking. He couldn't. And it was that same altitude that we were talking about.
Yes.
And
it's no joke.
It is not.
It's no joke. But everyone seems to think that it's a joke. Like that's not true, guys. It's a true thing. Tell me about it. First time I actually landed in Mexico City, I was breathing a little bit weird. I was like, "Whoa, this is different." It's a true thing, guys, and especially for a player like Nico Castillo who hasn't played much in the past 6 months, has it been?
Yeah,
in the past 6 months, it's gonna affect you, and it certainly did.
Yeah, and it's mostly because of the pollution. So don't forget about that. It is really bad over there in Mexico City. But we still love it. We still love you, Mexico City. Stay as beautiful and true to yourself as you are. But yeah, Nico comes on. Should have probably been the other way around. Benedetti should have came in. But that doesn't happen. So now you throw in Castillo. You think, okay, hopefully this changes, right? Hopefully the game. All you need is a goal. All you need is a goal to get back into this.
Yes.
And then Leon goes and scores another one.
Yeah, it was
and you think 73rd minute, damn. I mean, we could do it. We've done it before, but we really need to go back right away. Right away. And then on comes Benedetti. We switch to a back three. Piojo literally says, I'm putting all my chips on the table. Go and get me something. And Leon scores again.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It was just, I guess, the timing. Yeah, I don't want to blame everything on the subs because there's not much that I guess they could have done. Nico Castillo being not match fit, but then they're only having 15 minutes to play with, especially when you're down 2-0. It's a little bit tough to put your new signings in this position. Go guys, go out and make something of this game. So I'm not gonna pin it all on the sub. The timing could have been better, definitely. I don't know. It's just a lot of factors playing into this.
I know. This is what I want to say. I think, in respects to this game, I think Piojo has, if not all the blame, most of the blame in this game,
right?
Because tactically speaking, this team did not look like a team. When you threw on those subs, it was literally like a Sunday league game. It was. Just get the ball up top to our forward and let him do his job. And that is it. There was no structure. There was no consistency. There was no creativity. There was no cohesiveness. There was nothing in that side that you thought, what is it that this team can do in regards to flipping the game around?
Right.
I mean, there was no answer. No answer on the pitch. No one could give you an answer. No one was picking up the ball and saying, I'm going to be the difference maker. And this is something that Piojo needs to acknowledge and say, this was my fault because...
continue.
No, because It was his choice to make those moves, knowing damn well that some of these players weren't 100% to go for that as long as they needed to go,
Hmm.
and he still threw them out there.
Right.
You know, so he needs to take credit for it and blame for it. The players need to acknowledge the fact
Mhm.
that they couldn't do anything about it either. So, I mean, what more can we say?
And he did. I don't know if you guys watched the presser right after the game, but this is something that we criticized Piojo all of last season, blaming the refs and everything and the pitch and whatnot. For the first time, he actually said, we lost. We need to focus up and get ready for Pumas." That was it. There was literally the first time a positive press conference came out of Piojo. He acknowledged that his team played like crap. He acknowledged that he probably messed up on some substitutions. He acknowledges that, you know what, it's a game, whatever, we lost, we got outplayed, it's okay. Let's hit the training ground and get ready for a Clasico, because Pumas is no walk in the park either.
They're definitely not. They're definitely not. Although the big buzz right now is the arrival of Cowboy Dan into Coapa. Apparently, everyone
Mhm.
in the chat is livid and hoping that they can see our good Cowboy Dan strap on his boots. Dylan, everyone's asking, what kind of cleats do you wear?
I keep that classified. I'm not at liberty to say that.
Oh, so it's a contract
The
situation.
contract.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Can you give us a
Is it
hint?
is it made out of real cowboy leather?
No, it's made out of ostrich.
Nice. Okay.
Ostrich.
Okay.
Interesting.
Ostrich boots.
Ostrich boots. Those are rare to come now these days.
La bomba.
Well, we're gonna keep our eyes peeled for when you make that debut. You said on the chat you could play all 11 spots. It'd be interesting to see where the people want you to play. I mean, where would you feel more comfortable, Dylan?
The bench.
Yeah, I'm only there for morale.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, no joke. Those benches are super comfortable. Super comfortable. Like, no lie, I could see why Navarrete played so long under the shadow of Ochoa. Like, those benches were like, they're top notch. Like, you could sleep there for like the whole 45 minutes.
To world class stadium.
It's a world class stadium and some world class benches, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys ever get a chance to go down to the Estadio Azteca on a weekday or anything and can take the full VIP tour, I urge you do so. They give you a whole access to the Estadio Azteca. They walk you down onto the pitch. They walk you to the benches. You get to sit down onto the benches, and you get to feel what the players feel and all that stuff. And then of course you get to go to the locker rooms and in and out of the stadium by the press box. Everything. It's phenomenal. I highly recommend it. And if you guys ever go down to Mexico, please, please do yourselves the favor of taking that tour, because the Azteca it's a beautiful, beautiful stadium, and it has so much more history than we could ever talk about. But
And
yeah,
one day is a dream.
that is true. That is true. So, man, I got so caught off guard. What were we talking about before this
Talk
whole
about
Dylan situation?
Piojo finally acknowledging his mistakes, and you know what? I think we all just need to chalk this L, and focus on Pumas.
Yeah, and that's that was the right thing to say. That was the right thing to say. But it's again, the manager said the right things to the press. The player said the right thing. It's whether or not they're gonna show it on Sunday. That's what worries me.
Yeah,
Because you could
I
say
mean,
all these things.
but I don't know if you guys want to have some flashbacks, but last year we lost to Leon as well, and then we started this crazy undefeated streak. So maybe history repeats itself.
Someone needs to put a GIF of, or not a GIF, like a picture, like a meme of, oh, America loses to Leon last year and becomes champions. America loses to Leon this year, and
And
like,
yeah,
something like
definitely.
that.
Someone get on it.
Someone get on it, because if you think about it, America lost 2 games last season. One was against Necaxa, the other one was against Leon. This year it was been against Monterrey and it's been against Leon.
Leon.
Now the two have been Leon, and Necaxa and Monterrey both have stripes on their jerseys. So I mean,
So
if so, then that's so America should be the bicampeón, right?
should be, according to
Is
philosophies, it should be.
this conspiracy hour now?
Yes.
This is your hour, Dylan. Jump in this.
What? I have no conspiracies to talk about at the moment.
That is such a lie. We've put off so many conspiracies this whole year that we've been doing this. The whole conspiracy theory of how why Piojo didn't want to play Linus. That was
Oh
a good
yeah,
one.
good level. Yeah, that
Because
was a
of
good
that
one.
one.
Mandela effect.
The Mandela effect. So we've had plenty of those discussions here on the podcast, but I mean, we have a lot to do still to get to that bicampeonato. Now, the only good thing I would say about this loss, besides the fact that it keeps the players grounded, is the fact that it's still early-ish in the season.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. That's what I want to say. Like, I don't remember who said in chat. I'm not trying to call you out, but I didn't understand when they said, "Oh, it's a loss is good." I don't understand how that is coming into play because we were never at a consistent level and we were never really like anywhere at the top, in my opinion. So I don't see how this loss serves its purpose.
I think it's going to serve its purpose in the fact that, it's going to whip them a little bit more into shape, and that's pretty much it,
Well,
But
but other than that, like what else has this loss brought? It hasn't brought nothing.
a lot
Just the
more of
simple fact,
attention to
just,
the team.
just a lot more attention to the team, but the simple fact that we were playing better than this before, and that's like we said, like why? I'm like
No, that's true. It's not to say that we were playing
I
this
don't
fantastic football beforehand,
understand.
and
I
and
don't understand that concept.
no, and I get it.
Yeah,
And
doesn't like
look,
serve this purpose.
this,
We just went out and straight lost.
yeah, we went out, we
We
lost, and
got
that's it.
we got
Yeah,
our asses handed to. It's plain
we
and
did.
simple.
We did. We played a terrible game. Now, I'm not justifying the fact that we've been playing this great football. I think we've sat here week in and week out, and we've attested to this that this team is not at 100%. This team has a lot of things wrong right now, a lot of injuries. Because of that, we've been limited to it. But that we haven't made that an excuse. We've said we want to see consistent football from this side. We haven't gotten that. We still haven't gotten that to this day. We got our asses handed to it against Leon. Pretty much the same thing against Monterrey.
Mm-hmm.
Whether the team can cope with that, that's the important part. That's what I want to see now, because we're getting more players coming back from injury. We have our signings. I said it. I said it. You can go back and listen to the podcast before the transfer deadline day. I said, if we do not sign anyone, then there is no way we win this bicampeonato. We signed 2. I said we need a minimum of 2 to be contenders, 3 to actually push for that title. We got those 2. It's whether or not they can incorporate themselves fast enough for me to actually acknowledge them as good signings.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think this loss gives us at least a sense of this team now knows that there is no excuse for them to fall back on. There's no excuse for them to say that we have injuries. There's no excuse to say that we don't have reinforcements. It's gonna be like, okay, we lost. We got our asses handed to. Now we need to man up. We need to own up to this. And we need to go out and prove ourselves, not just against Pumas, but for the rest of the season to come. Mm-hmm. That, I think, is the only good thing that comes out of this loss, is that the players can realize that there's nothing to fall back on. We need to do our part now and go and push and be this better side if we truly want to push for that bicampeonato, or at least for a good season.
Mm-hmm. And you got to think that's the message that Piojo's relaying right now every single day leading up to this Pumas game. And you know what? Hopefully this Sunday we can put on a good showing and, remind everyone that, last week was just the off week and, we're still here and we're still going to contend for this bicampeonato.
Let's hope so. Mm-hmm. So, final whistle blows, 90 minutes. Gentlemen, anything else you want to add on to this game?
No, I'm just depressed. I was just depressed that day. I'm over it now. I mean, it's just a game. One game.
Dylan?
We'll bounce back.
That is the reason why America leads me to drinking.
You want to be the only one that has fallen down that rabbit hole. Trust me, my whole family can attest to that.
Can't relate.
Oh man! But someone in the group chat is saying that my boy Dylan recording on a flip phone. No, it's a Nokia. Is that school Wi-Fi, right?
No, I'm using my personal internet.
Oh,
my phone internet.
Oh, okay. You said personal.
I shot the finger at the school Wi-Fi today. I said I'm not
Oh,
doing this with you today.
all right. You said personal. I was like, whoa. The podcast gave you funding for personal Wi-Fi. I want some personal Wi-Fi.
Well, I mean, I don't
But
know about all that.
then again, you're the consentido of management, so you get what you want. So you know, Dylan's gonna be Dylan, I guess.
That's right.
I can't wait. I can't wait to meet Dylan in person. I give him a big hug.
Big hug, big virtual hug to everyone right now listening. Like our good friend Mr. Thick Rick is saying, shout out to Ricky who's came come out to today's show. Uh, Gentlemen, before we move on into the whole Clasico Capitolino thing, and I want to end the podcast on that. Two things before we get there. One, I want to talk a little bit about Lady Aguilas, and two, of course, everyone's favorite trivia moment of the night. So I'll let you guys choose. What do you want first, ladies or trivia?
Ladies,
Ladies, okay, we'll talk ladies first. Um, I mean,
what's much to
it was
say?
just it was disappointing for all America sides in regards to this, right? The ladies did not have their best night as they went up against Veracruz and drew. I mean, a game that wasn't transmitted live, so we couldn't really break it down to the way we broke down that Leon game. But from what I've read, from the things that the ladies have been saying, I think they're owning up to the fact that they did not play their best match, that they know that they can give more, but they just couldn't. You know?
Just an off day, I guess, for everybody.
Dylan, should we be worried about the ladies?
Yeah, Dylan, should we?
No, I don't think so.
Really? Because I feel like we should be, because the fact that there's a lack of goals being scored really draws my attention. Because if we look back at some of the results in the past month, you've seen victories from them, but they've been 1-0 victories. And then you, of course, have the game against Pumas, which you lost. And then you have this game against Veracruz you couldn't score on. Is there something that we're not seeing? Is there something that we're not reading? Is there something that we should call and say, look, this is concerning on all aspects? Because I feel like the ladies just don't have a firepower, and we know that they do because they have the two Cuevas and the wingers that can perform and give you goals from time to time. I just don't see that this team is getting anything, really going when it comes to attack.
Well, I mean, there was a lack of goals in Liga.
Yeah, and then we could say that it's been from then on too.
Look,
is there an answer to this?
Is there an answer to the guys the way they performed? or are we just gonna say it's an off day? And
listen, we hyped them up, and I think everyone in the community hyped up America's signings as well. The lady side, and everyone was like, these signings are gonna bring in great creativity. They're gonna replace everyone that left and even do a better job than everyone that left. And I think we're starting off either a little bit below of what we did last season. So I don't know. I think I'm with Dylan on this one. I think I'm with Ivan on this one. I think we need to start maybe hitting that worrying button just a little bit, just tapping it a little bit. Not as much where we're panicking to think that we're not going to make the Liga, but I mean we should start asking some questions here or there. Like, are we playing the right way? Should some players be playing? Some players be benched? That kind of thing.
I mean, that's hard to say though, because it's not like we watch them week in and week out.
True, you're right.
True. That's what makes this topic of discussion difficult too for us. Other than what we read and what we see from highlights.
And I think the reason why I bring that up is because I'm not saying I'm bashing on the ladies specifically. I want to talk about the coach. I want to know if
you're bashing them, Ivan.
He's doing exactly what we've always wanted this lady side to do, because I feel like our good friend Mr. Chicken Nugget says, look, the coach likes to park the bus and play long ball United. Dylan, from two Manchester United fans who lived throughout this whole Jose Mourinho thing, we know how frustrating that can be. And we know that doesn't get the best out of the players.
There's 6 games in. They have 13 points. It's more than the guys.
That's true.
That is true.
I mean, I mean, two off performances, and I know I just feel like we're starting to tap it a little too early still. We're still trying to get there. We're in second. We're 3 points down from Pachuca.
Yeah, look, I'm not saying it's call for
No,
concern. I'm just saying.
you're bringing the vendetta out, Ivan.
Never let me live that down.
No, well,
No, but
I'll give it one more game. Me personally, I'll give it one more game.
Yeah, I think everyone can. It just, I just wish they would transmit the game so we can just break it down better and see what's going wrong specifically for them. I guess the tactic has to do something with it, definitely, but that's just much more than just a tactic, don't you feel?
yeah. I look. My whole thing was, look, ladies. It's still early in the season. Yes, I'm just saying, should there be a call for concern? Not it. There is. I'm saying, should there be? I'm just questioning. I'm not saying that I think that it's time to press the panic button on these ladies. I'm just saying, look, we're gonna see what we're gonna break it down for what it is. You're right, Dylan. They have more points than the men, and that says a lot. For them to have the season that they're having after champions. And everyone knows what happens when you're champions. You automatically go to the bottom of the pile. That's not the case for these ladies. I don't want to say it's the case for the men because we're in 8th place, and that's nowhere near the right place we should be at. But it's still a little bit early. I would say, and I would dare to give them 2 more games before we start actually panicking.
Fair enough.
And that's fair. That's fair.
Fair enough.
Okay, we're all on the same page in regards to this then. Alrighty, ladies, look, we love you. Dylan, when's their next game?
The 16th, which is Saturday, right?
Yes, it is Saturday.
Yeah.
Do we know who they're going up against? At 12? All right.
The table leaders.
Oh, man, we're going up against Pachuca. Now, this is the perfect opportunity.
Pachuca. Yeah.
This
is the perfect opportunity that, look, if America goes out and wins this game, and I hope I'm crossing my fingers that they really transmit this game because I really want to watch it. But if America walks away with 3 points against Pachuca, I mean,
Ivan's vendetta is gone like that.
Just like no, literally like that. Because look, now, first of all, it's not a vendetta because I never said that I want heads to be turned in this situation. I just said
last season it was Jorge Sanchez. Now it's Lady Aguilas. Unbelievable.
I mean, I saw a bone pick with George, but that's just that. No, I love the ladies. Hashtag Lady Aguilas. I did it on I did it on Monday yesterday. It either was too early or it was too late. It didn't work its magic, or maybe there was just not enough people from this podcast tweeting hashtag Lady Aguilas. I'm just saying, if we're gonna be pointing fingers around here, but hashtag Lady Aguilas, ladies and gentlemen, Saturday is an important game for the ladies. Gonna be hopefully watching that game if possible. If not, we're gonna try to get a link, see if we can get something going. That game seems to be a very interesting one, of course. So ladies, we urge you to put on your game face, get ready, go out there, prove to the rest of the community what you are made out of. I know Dylan's gonna have your back, I'm gonna have your back, Chris is gonna have your back, the whole world's gonna have your back, because Saturday morning, first thing that we're gonna do after a long Friday night of being at the pub, we are going to hashtag Lady Aguilas. Isn't that right, gentlemen?
No, because I can't drink yet.
What? Doesn't mean you can't tweet.
True, but I want to go to a pub.
I do too. I've never been to a pub before.
Yo, what's so funny, Dylan?
You're just like I want to go to a pub. Like you just like lean in.
One day.
A good friend, Mr. Luis, says, did you guys hear about what Caixinha said?
I'd rather not talk about it.
Look, we can get messy on the podcast and we can, dive into that, but we'll leave it at this.
If you have nothing nice to say, just don't say it. He literally had no comment on the thing. He literally had no comment. Just say, I don't have a comment. It's not my team. That's it. Just leave. There's no need to bring in all this skirts thing into like why? Why did it need to say that?
Dylan.
I'm just not gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna say nothing for PR purposes.
You're the
He's
reason
under
why we're
contract.
even a PR mess. You know that, right?
He's under
Yes.
contract. Remember that.
No, look, I'll just say this much. When he said it, I was not surprised.
LOL.
I
Why?
was not surprised at whatsoever. And that should say a lot of things. That should say a lot that if when a manager says this kind of thing about the ladies game, and a lot of people, yeah, were shocked and like, oh my God, I can't believe he said that. But for the most part, a lot of people were like, oh, that's
Caixinha.
that's not just Caixinha. That's kind of the take on the ladies game on a lot of parts of the world. It's sad, it's true, but you know what? I said, well, he said it. He said it. Oh well. I don't think that's gonna affect the ladies in any aspect. I don't think that's gonna make them play any less, or I
Yeah.
think even that it motivates them. So at
Mhm.
the end of the day,
Did he even
you know,
apologize?
you
No, I
know
don't think
what? I
so.
don't know. I
I
don't
don't. I don't think he did. To be honest.
know, and that's just it. That's let them deal with their mess. Because at the end of the day, it's not my team. It's not my coach. It's not my manager. It's not my institution. So that the way I saw it was, oh, he said that. Well, didn't come out of my institution. What should I care about it?
So why
Like
are we talking about it?
Yeah, exactly.
my ladies are gonna do their thing, and that's it. And we're gonna leave it at that. Hashtag Lady Aguilas. Let's go for the win. Let's get those 3 points. Pachuca, we're coming for you.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go. So with that said, let's move on into our next segment. Everyone's favorite hashtag trivia time. Oh, Christian, it's all yours.
Thank you, everybody. Well, hold on. I need a burp.
Oh,
No, I don't. Okay. So tonight's trivia question, which Ivan will post in the chat. Hold up, here it comes. False alarm again. Okay. The trivia question for tonight is: who scored the tying goal in the match between Pumas and America in the 2007 Clausura?
that is a good one. That is a real throwback.
It is a throwback.
That isn't usually something that most people will remember. Oh well, yeah, they probably will remember. Let's see if
They
you guys
should
give me.
remember. If they're true fans, they should remember this one.
Yeah, I remember. I can remember that game clear as yesterday. It was a Sunday morning, as always. Pumas playing at their usual, freaking 12 in
12 o'clock.
the
1
12
o'clock.
o'clock. So it was 10 o'clock here. It was 2007. So Ivan was around. Well, how old was I? 27, 12 years ago. So yeah, I was about 11-ish, 11, 12-ish. And I remember watching that game and thinking, damn, what a goal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
It's just one of those days.
Yeah. It wasn't a pretty game though. We played terrible. Probably didn't deserve even the draw, but still got something going.
Mm-hmm.
But that's crazy. That is crazy. So let us know exactly who
Let us
won
know.
that who won that game. Not who won that game, who scored
Who scored
the
that
goal
goal?
that drew.
Mm-hmm.
So that's awesome. A lot of people, Chicken Nugget said Ochoa. I don't think he has one career goal to his name yet. That would be cool. Dick Rick said the GOAT Cardenas. No, the GOAT is Osmar Mares, but Chema Cardenas is right behind him. But we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to definitely wait and see. Alrighty.
All right,
How's
so
trivia
that's
going though?
it's going pretty good. The scoreboard thing is a little bit tricky right now. As I mentioned last week, someone, I'm not gonna say who's in charge of it, but someone kind of deleted the scoreboard by accident, so he had to go back, go back in and redo all the points again. So it's taking so much time because for some reason I keep finding this bug where like people are supposed to have, I think, 10 more points, but it's not giving it. I don't. It's complicated. I'm working on it. but it should be out soon, I guess. I mean, I feel bad because I promised it last week and I haven't gotten to it. But they're just stacking up, so it's gonna take even more time. But they'll be out soon, soon. I promise. I have a break tomorrow between my classes, so I think I'm a just take that 2 hour break and just focus on this and get it out for you guys, so you guys know how you're doing. In terms of the prize, we still haven't really narrowed down the prize yet. More details coming up in the upcoming podcast. But yeah, thank you guys for playing.
Definitely, definitely. We'll give you guys an answer on what the price is on in March, which is like about 2 weeks from now. So stay tuned for that. But
Yes,
it'd be interesting. It'd be really cool if we gave fans who came out to the fan festival and that March friendly like 5 points for just coming to say hi to the Eagle Eye boys.
I'm down.
That'd be cool.
That'd be
That'd be
cool.
cool.
Wink,
Well,
wink.
we'll let you guys know. We'll let you guys know what happens or
Mhm.
how we do that. So, but yeah, thank you again so much for everyone who's been participating in trivia. It means the world to us, of course, to have you guys come over here and do your thing. So, thank you so much, gentlemen. Let's get ready to close out the show by previewing America versus Pumas, or in this case, Pumas versus America,
Goya, Goya.
in what is going to be hopefully a pretty good, entertaining game, a pretty good fun game. I just took a peek at the EA Sports game, and uh, if it's anything to what the game is going to, it paints to be a good one. So, gentlemen, let's break it down. Let's talk tactics. Let's talk predicted lineups. Let's talk everything and anything that this team needs to do in order to walk away with all 3 points, because it's exactly what you need. I don't think a draw coming out of Seoul even helps to
Ooh.
to keep this kind of train rolling. Correct?
Funny how you said draw. Now, I'm going to throw a little stat out for you guys. Yes, we have been the dominant side when it comes to playoffs. Correct. Yes, that is true. But if you guys look at the last 2 meetings we have had with them in regular league play, we have only managed a draw against both of them. One was in the Azteca, was a 2-2. You guys remember that Henry Martin goal at the last minute? That was that one.
Yep.
And then the other one was a 0-0 at in Seoul, and we got a red card in that one.
No
So yeah,
chilenas this time.
yeah, no chilenas. So listen, guys, in Liga, yes, we seem to have taken this dominant force. I mean, this dominant side, dominant kind of presence. But in league play, it's a whole different story. For some reason, we just can't get past them in the past 2 meetings. And should we be worried? I don't know. It's a good question.
I would have so much to say as worried as to making sure that we're refined and well tuned out for this game. Dylan, what would you say is important coming into this game to actually walk away with all 3 points?
Don't suck like you did the last game.
Well,
I mean, that's a bit broad.
that is a little bit broad, just a
I
little
mean,
bit broad.
I was expecting a little bit more details to that, but I mean, if it's that simple, then we could have just ended the show 20 minutes ago if we could have just broken things down that simply.
Well, I mean, play consistent football. Act like there's 11 players on the pitch, not just like one or two. I mean, just play together. Like you always say, I haven't have that structure. I mean, it's plain and simple. I mean, you go with the basics first. Don't do nothing fancy.
Yeah.
I mean, you got
Yeah,
to go back
agreed.
to those basics at this point, which you hate, but
I don't hate. I always say play the simple game first. Then that's the most effective way to play the sport.
no,
The
I'm
most
talking
hardest
about
way.
like I'm talking about going back and learning how to pass the ball. Like that's how basic I'm trying to get. Like do
Uh,
simple passing drills.
some people I feel like do need to go through those simple passing drills. But
Exactly.
let's before we go into more of a tactical sense and in breaking all that down, let's focus a little bit on this Puma side, and then we'll talk predicted lineups. You look at this side who just recently acquired a new manager, right? A manager that went to go spy on us whenever we played against Querétaro.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I mean, you look at this team. Is there something that we should maybe be a bit worried about? I mean, the last couple of games, obviously they beat Querétaro, but they're coming from a 1-1 draw against Monterrey, a 2-1 win against Atlas. I mean, the last three games have been relatively positive for them. I mean, what could we what could we say about this Puma side? Because a lot of people thought, well, they are in 15th place. They're 6 points only. They got one win and they got three draws. But do you think that they carry some momentum coming into this game?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think we would have to look at their goalkeeper. It's kind of weird because we never mentioned goalkeepers, but I think El Pollo Saldivar has been having great performances in his recent matches, especially the one against Querétaro. He played very well. Another player we should kind of point out is their captain Pablo Barrera. When he gets in his rhythm and his mode, he can produce and create and score some goals. So if our defense is gonna play anything like we did on Saturday, he's gonna cause some havoc for us. Um, and I kind of want to say I don't know, because their attack is a little bit weird. So they have on top they have Carlos Gonzalez and Felipe Mora. Both of them got subbed out last match for Martin Rodriguez and Juan Iturbe, which in my opinion I think are better players than both of them. So it would be interesting to see which pair gets to start against America. But whatever the pair may be, they kind of have some great chemistry. They can like Leon, when they find their sweet spot, their rhythm, they can create and they can cause trouble. And like I said again, if our defense plays anything like we did on Saturday, these players will cause trouble for us in the back.
It's basically gonna open us up like the Nile River. That's even a
Oh.
saying. I don't know, but yeah, they're gonna walk through us like if we're just a slide through door. If we're not on our A game,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, there should be call for concern, of course. Whenever you play a Clasico Capitalino, it's always a Clasico, and the Clásicos are always played differently. I imagine that these players would know this already. Most of the America players would know this already. Some of the
Hopefully.
Pumas players already. So I mean, everything that's going to be played on the line, it's going to be more than just 3 points. It's going to be respect. It's going to be passion. It's going to be everything, really. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll have to wait and see exactly how the players respond to it. But I would imagine it's going to be a good game. Hopefully, hopefully it's also a safe game, with a safe environment. These past couple of Clásicos have been, on the safer side of things. Before these games were a nightmare to go to. And Dylan, I think
Oh
I
yeah.
told you stories time and time again of what these Pumas America games used to be, especially at Seoul. I mean, it was
Ooh,
terrible to go
that
to
was
Seoul.
terrible. Mm-hmm.
So let's hope for safe a safe viewing and hopefully a fun environment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I,
So
I I hope so.
I
let's
agree too.
let's let's keep it 100% safe the way the sport is supposed to be enjoyed on the pitch and celebrated across all fans, uh, and really we have to keep our fingers crossed that they acknowledge that over there. So gentlemen, let's talk a little bit about this America side. How do they come into this one? What could we predict this lineup to be? I mean, I'm curious to see what you guys have planted in your head. So Christian, I'm gonna throw it to you first. What is it that how do you think America comes out?
I'm gonna be in Piojo's shoes, so I'm gonna say Marchesín in net, Paul Aguilar, Bruno Valdez, Emmanuel Aguilera, Jorge Sánchez, Renato Ibarra, Edson Alvarez, Guido Rodriguez, Andres Ibargüen, Roger Martinez, and Henry Martin.
Interesting, interesting. I think I saw that same lineup by Mr. Chicken Little. All right, Dylan, give me your predicted lineup.
I think I'll go with the same thing, except I think Clemente gets to start again.
What? You know what? I'm that was a fake what. I feel like Clemente would start as well if
Now,
Ibarwen's not 100%.
what
If
I do
Ibarwen's not
want to
100.
see, I think I would take out Emmanuel Aguilera, put Edson Alvarez at center back, and I think I would start Cordova in midfield. But that just be me.
No, I haven't seen enough from Cordoba to say that he should start this game.
Mm, I just feel like, I
I
don't
just
know,
feel
man.
like we need our players back.
Yeah, we do, but we also need creativity. And if our thing is to just give it to Renato Ibarra over and over again, I'm gonna be very frustrated.
Obviously, this game carries a lot of weight and tension because of the whole Nico Castillo thing.
But he's not
Do
starting.
we, yeah, do we
Mm-mm.
expect him
I really hope
to?
he doesn't start.
No, not the start. I don't think he gets match fit just that
Oh,
quickly. But
he does come in though.
Yeah,
Definitely.
you
he does
expect
come
him to
in.
come
Yeah.
in.
100% he comes in. Definitely. I mean,
How do you think?
the whole story is basically him coming into the match.
And scoring the last minute goal that gives us 3 points.
Pretty much.
I like it.
And he celebrates in Seoul.
By kissing the America badge. Wow.
Oh my goodness. The scenes, the
Y'all
scenes,
waddling.
the
Y'all
scenes in the
waddling right now.
parking lot. Oh my goodness.
No, yeah, that would be bad.
No, that'd be terrible. That'd be terrible. That was a whole riot. I think it would be
It
unsafe,
would burn the stadium down, I think.
to be honest. But yeah.
So he comes in then.
I see a lot of people on Twitter asking for Benedetti to start. I don't think this is the match for him to start.
He's not ready.
Yeah, I just don't think this is the time.
I promise you that Benedetti starts the next Copa MX game. That's going to be his first start.
I promise you guys that towards the end of the season he'll be a regular starter. How he's gonna fit in, I have no idea. I still have to work out, some move players around, see how this might work. But I think everything points that Benedetti and Castillo will be starters by the end of the season.
We'll have to wait and see. Now,
Mm-hmm.
let's talk a little bit about these tactics because it's gonna be interesting to see how we go and approach this game. It's whether or not America goes and holds off from pressing, or if we're gonna go straight off the back and take the game to them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how do you think this side with the starting 11 that we said, how do you think this game? How does America play this game?
I don't know. I just don't think Piojo wants to change much, to be honest. I mean, what's our plan? Get it to the wings and then see if they can create something. I mean, it works for us, yes. But if you have a Puma side that kind of learn from Leon, okay, we just collapse the midfield on Guido and Edson. They can't really do much, so that limits a lot of their options. And then when it's on the wings, we can just collapse on the wings too. So that's not going to work for them either. So I think Pumas are going to try to steal a page out of Leon's book and collapse a lot on Guido and Edson, limiting them to do various things. This is a tough one for me because I wouldn't really know with the players that we have, with no really creativity going forward. It's going to be hard to create something. Maybe if Ibargüen does start, because I feel like Ibargüen's a little bit more flashy than Clemente, and he can dribble past a few people, open up some spaces, and maybe that's the avenue we should go through. And if Roger Martinez wants to shoot when he gets the ball, when he gets the chance, then maybe one can go in. But other than that, though, if Pumas plays like Leon, then it's gonna be difficult.
So what I'm hearing is that if Pumas plays like Leon, it's gonna be a rugged, tough battle match where you have to be the more physical side. You have to be the more imposing team on that pitch, because if you're not gonna have any space to run into, then the only way to get in front of goal is by forcing your way through.
Right, and
that
didn't work out.
Roger Martinez needs to come in.
Right,
a player that we've praised him for having a very good upper body strength. We've said that the way his stride, the way he goes, the way he can shove people off reminds us a little bit about Salvador Cabañas. So you want to see him step up in this game. How many times have we said it though? Roger, this is your game. This is your time to step up. Blah 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 blah. But we said this season was going to be different. When we criticize him, we're no longer giving him that cushion that he's adapting to the league. He's had his 6 months. He's had the chance. Now he needs to come into Seoul and showcase it, because I'll be honest with you, if it's not working with Roger, I would like to see Roger come off and Castillo come in. There's no point of having two muscular players like that on the pitch when they're just going to be running into each other and not even creating space for one another.
Yikes. See, that's a hard one for me, only because these past couple of games Henry Martin has been playing. I'm sorry, Dylan. He's been terrible as well. I mean, he's been a ghost.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. I don't know. I think we should just take both of them off and let Nico Castillo play the lone striker. Let's try that for a change.
That's for a different game. And this is a game where I think you can utilize a Henry Martin.
Yeah, but if he's gonna be a ghost all game, why have him on the pitch?
that's a whole different story. You
He's
don't.
just He's just wasting space. Maybe for I don't know. I guess a Benedetti to come in and create something at least. At least it seems like Benedetti wants to get involved in the play, while Henry Martin just like kind of goes through the motion, just waits for the ball and the play to come to him. On the opposite, we have a Benedetti who seems motivated and wants to prove himself. Okay, give me the ball. Let me try to do something. Yeah, he might lose it here and there, but at least he's trying to do something at least.
So I think it's fair to say that both strikers, both Henry and Roger, are going to be crucial to this game, whether or
Yes.
not they show up.
Yes.
Right? If they show up, then good. That's what we want to see. That's exactly what we want. If they don't, then we're sitting again here criticizing them, but that means that they're also going to be taken out.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to be kind of the main attraction, if you want, for this game. At least in our eyes, we need them to show up because, of course, the midfield is going to be cramped. Pumas is going to try to do their best to limit us. That means I need our forwards to go and muscle through defense, open and make chances, and take them. Take them. Something we've been saying, how long now, Dylan? A year? Just take your chances.
We still haven't learned.
Yeah.
At times.
Definitely. Definitely. But I do expect this team to go out and have more of a fight, more of a push. And I do expect this team to be a little bit more concentrated in defense. I think that's going to be important as well.
Yes. And then later on when we talk about what's the key thing, I think I'm gonna go with Dylan. I'm gonna say Guido and Edson are gonna be very crucial to this game as well.
Okay, so for me, the key is the striker partnership between Roger and Henry not working out. For you, it's Guido and Edson and what they can do in the midfield and how they control things.
If
Dylan?
Oh, sorry, go.
What?
Dylan's having fun in the chat.
I thought Ivan was asking me a question, but then you got interrupted.
Oh, yikes!
No. I was
No.
I was asking you, who's gonna be key for America this game?
Oh, it's gonna have to be Marchesín. I want to see him. I want to see him do better. It's gonna have to be the back line. It's not just one player, but the back line and Marchesín.
That's interesting.
So our whole defense.
Pretty much the whole team has to be better. You mentioned the strikers. I mentioned the midfield. He mentions the back line plus keeper. So pretty much the whole team just has to be better. I just think that if we just get back to our regular form, I don't think Pumas can stop us, to be honest.
We'll have to wait and see. I think we'll know exactly what type of game this is going to be within the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, I think if you see America, do what we like, Ivan, pressing the ball, pressing the opposition. So I'm sorry, taking the early shots, letting Pumas know that we're here to play. This game should naturally just flow into our favor and our rhythm and our play style, and which is just to a certain extent, control the game in a way.
No, I agree. Dylan, you are having the time of your life on the chat. Talking away. This is all in good fun and respect. I hope people know that,
It's not.
So don't hate us. Don't hate Dylan. He's doing it out of heart and lols. But back to the whole Monterrey game.
Monterrey Pumas, you mean?
Sorry, Pumas game. That's not so. I thought so. Puma Monterrey. That's why. Sorry. Back to this Pumas game. Yes, Christian. If they do all those things and actually get a rhythm going, then I could see this team walking away with all 3 points.
Yes.
So that leads me to the conclusion of this, and that is, give me your predicted lineup, Dylan. I mean your predicted result, Dylan. What do you say the result is going to be this Sunday?
Dare I say 1-1?
Oh, stop! You're breaking my heart.
I 2-1 America.
2-1 America. Okay, 2-1 America. Nice. Christian,
I really think we're gonna hit our stride. I'm gonna say 3-0.
3-0. Wow, that's adventurous. Okay,
3-0 in Seoul.
Let's see. So let us know exactly in the chat what you guys think, how this game is going to go down. I am going with the safe 1-0. America wins. Last minute goal from Nico Castillo.
Oh, okay, now I'm adventurous.
No,
No, you're not adventurous. I'm sorry. Because our
um,
next prediction has to come from our good friends at EA Sports. So, FIFA has predicted that between Pumas and America this Sunday, that the winner of this game is going to be America winning 5-3.
oh, I would love to see that game.
godly.
EA Sports got close to getting the game prediction right against Leon. They predicted that loss. So now they're predicting America walks away with 3 points with a 5-3 win. What do you guys think?
I would love to see that game.
That is a game that I think we all pay to watch. So
Mhm.
definitely one to come out and really go and make sure you check this out. Obviously, it's a Clasico, and a lot of hype is going to be around it. Especially this game's a little bit more important in the youth academy sense of things. So some of the youth academy players like Edson Alvarez will really feel this. Pablo Barrera, who came from the academy of Pumas, he
Mhm.
knows what this means. So really, there's a lot to be talked about in this game. So I just hope for a good, clean, entertaining game. And of course,
Oh, backtrack there. You said clean. Hold up. I have another stat for you guys.
okay.
In our in our last 6 meetings, including Liga with Pumas, there have been a total of 6 red cards in a match. 6 red cards in those 6 matches.
Yeah.
Three apiece.
Let's just hope for a clean game.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
You know what? I'll be
Expected
happy.
expected to get rough out there, but this is the key thing as well. America cannot fall into their trap. If that's what they're going for, if that's what they want to do, if that's their game plan, if that's the idea that they're proposing, let's get a little bit scrappy with them. Throw them off their game a little bit. You know what happens to them when they can't, when they're not on their game. America just has to be stronger, mentally, and be like, listen, guys, we can't fall into their trap. Let them play dirty. The cards will come. Don't worry, and we'll just keep doing our game.
Alrighty. You guys heard it here first. Okay, so that's that. We hope for a good, wholesome win from America. 3 points to bounce us back, and hopefully next week when we come live on Tuesday, our discussions are about something else.
Yeah, beautiful.
Definitely beautiful. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we just want to say thank you to every single one of you guys for coming out to tonight's show. As always, we are here Tuesdays live at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. And of course, we want to say thank you to everyone who came out to the live show and made it just phenomenal. We raffled away a jersey. I bought everyone pizza. It was
This
fun.
is your host.
It
I
was
buy you
amazing.
barbecue. I buy you barbecue. I buy you steaks. I buy you brisket. I buy you sausage, ham. I
Okay.
mean,
So it's a
I mean,
battle of the
I mean,
hosts.
I don't like potato salad, but I give you potato salad if you like potato salad.
I'd rather go to Dylan's watch party.
hey,
No,
all
I'm
right.
joking. I'm joking.
We
That's
did.
a
We
very
did
nice
what we could.
gesture.
What we
I think
hear.
I think that's a very nice gesture, though, Ivan, that you bought everyone
Hmm.
pizza, and I'm very jealous because I wasn't there.
Yeah,
Um,
same.
but yeah, but yeah, that's great. I
It
heard
was
everything.
fun though. It
I heard,
was
I heard I heard
fun.
everything turned out well, which is, I guess, the positive thing.
Yeah, he's not on the chat right now, but our good friend Mr. Carlos Diaz, he came in, he brought balloons. I thought that was the
Oh,
most amazing thing.
Nice.
Brought his wife, brought his little girl,
there
2-year-old
you
little
go.
girl in full America gear. She was cheering the whole time with her dad, playing with the tambourine. Really, it's such a beautiful sight to see.
Every dad's
Um,
dream.
every dad's dream, and really every podcast host of an America podcast's dream to have the community come out, to have the community get together. It wasn't a whole bunch of us. I know some of people said that they couldn't make it because of work, because the timing was just off. But for the people that showed up, we want to say thank you. And I gave a little speech afterwards, and I told them, how much it meant, not just for me, but for you guys as well, for them to come and make it, and how important it is for us to get the community together. And
Mm-hmm.
and, and really, that's what it's all about, and the game really, I could care less about it and what the result was. So really, at the end of the day, I think the real winners was the community in a sense.
Yeah.
So thank you again for making it out. We're gonna plan something a little bit more organized, a little bit more better. But thank you for coming. Thank you to everyone too who gave us such a big platform on Twitter. Mr. Tom Marshall,
Oh,
Amelia,
definitely.
who
Mm-hmm.
who who made it out, Cesar Hernandez. Every big name from the community that liked and retweeted us and put the word out there. We want to say thank you so much, because the event was just that much better because of it. And hopefully we can get something going, something bigger next time. And it's definitely something we want to do in the future, and a little bit more consistent, because there's nothing better than watching the game than with friends and family members, and that's what you guys are now, family to us. So
Mm-hmm.
thank you again for making it out, and for those of you who couldn't and want to, we'll definitely have something soon. So make sure you guys stay tuned to the podcast. So without further ado, you guys can always find us on Twitter at Eagle iPod. That is at Eagle Eye Podcast, excuse me, not Eagle iPod. We have reached
Mm-hmm.
over 100 followers on Instagram. So thank you
Big
so
party.
much. We got so much giveaways to do now that we have no idea
Yikes.
what which one is that, but we'll let you guys know exactly. We're gonna get this situated, but thank you so
Mm-hmm.
much for everyone. We're doing our best to kind of keep track with all of this. We're trying to manage all of this a little bit more better, but thank you so much. It means the world to us, and we'll definitely be more active in that sense. Gentlemen, anything else you want to say to the community before we go?
Yo, Dylan, stop. Stop trying to catch fades with everybody, my man.
Bro, I don't care. If you want this smoke, bro, you gonna get this smoke. That's all it is. If you want this smoke, you got smoke. I promise you.
Yo, let's get it. But no,
If you guys,
everyone.
if we don't come back next Tuesday, it's because Dylan just destroyed our PR
To be honest,
department.
but but no, I don't know how I can top that. But I think Ivan just said it perfectly. Thank you for everyone that came out to the live viewing party. I know it's something Ivan really worked hard on. He talked about it a lot, and it was great to see everything come to fruition. And I hope we can have one here in New York for everybody that lives here around this area. Thank you for coming to the podcast, watching us, supporting us every week. It means a lot to us. The motivation is there, and just thank you guys.
Definitely. Alrighty. Well, we'll let you guys enjoy your night. Have a beautiful evening. We'll catch you guys very soon on Twitter and on Instagram, on Spotify, on iTunes, everywhere and anywhere. Just search the Eagle Eye Podcast and you guys will find us there. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. And someone put, Ivan, what is in the box? My cleats. I just got new cleats. They're white with orange. They're really nice. I love them.
Nice.
So that for those of you who are on SoundCloud and iTunes, probably I have no idea what was that. But again, thank you guys. Have a good, wonderful night. We'll see you guys on Sunday. And as always, Arriba la America. Oh, and don't forget, hashtag Lady Aguilas. Let's go.